Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today we're doing something silly. I thought it would be fun to run a commander deck that has all 5 of the new legendary Elder Dragons in it. And since we want all of them on board at the same time, I wanted a tutor in the command zone that could find them. So this will be a deck led by Tiamat. No, we're not budget, but yes, we are bracket 2. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically, if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Tiamat is a 7-mana 7/7 legendary dragon god with flying. When she enters the battlefield, if we cast it, we search our library for up to 5 differently named dragon cards not named Tiamat, reveal them, put them into our hand, and then shuffle. The wording on Tiamat's a bit weird because she was printed in a standard set where you could, in theory, run 4 copies of Tiamat. But since we're in Commander, she might as well read Search for 5 Dragons. Until WotC prints a dragon that says you may run as many copies as you wish, but I digress. The reason I wanted to build this deck was because all of the Elder Dragons from Secrets of Strixhaven are Spellslinger cards. Witherbloom and Silverquill both care about having token creatures. Prismari gives us Storm on all our instants and sorceries. Quandrix and Lorehold both help us to dig through our deck whenever we cast an instant or sorcery. So the goal here is to ramp as fast as possible, cast Tiamat, cast all 5 of our dragons, and combo off and win the game. So what will we need for this to happen? Spells and probably some token generators. Specifically the creatures who create tokens whenever we cast an instant or sorcery. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, BCW. BCW has been making high-quality, cost-effective products for both collectors and retailers for over 40 years. If you want to store, display, or sort your cards, check them out. I've been using their inner sleeves for years now and have never had an issue. Be sure to click the link down below and use code DANON10 for a 10% discount on your order. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm streaming on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. Sometimes I'm building commander decks, other times I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, but you're always welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Starting off our land base, we've got the ever-reliable Command Tower and Exotic Orchard, both staples that belong in just about any multicolored deck. For fetch lands, we're running Flooded Strand, Arid Mesa, Polluted Delta, Verdant Catacombs, Wooded Foothills, Scalding Tarn, Marsh Flats, Bloodstained Mire, Windswept Heath, and Misty Rainforest. Yes, we're running all 10 fetches. We may be bracket 2, but we're not skimping on lands. Next up, for fetchable targets, we've got Rafine's Tower, Xander's Lounge, Zeotora's Proving Ground, Jetmir's Garden, Spara's Headquarters, Hallowed Fountain, Sacred Foundry, Watery Grave, Overgrown Tomb, Stomping Ground, Steam Vents, Godless Shrine, Blood Crypt, Temple Garden, and Breeding Pool. All of the shocks plus 5 triomes. I don't feel comfortable running 10 triomes and prefer to keep it to 5 even in a 5-color deck. For utility lands, we've got Pajuka Bog for Graveyard Hate. Finally, we're running 1 Plains, 2 Islands, 1 Swamp, 2 Mountains, and 4 Forests as our basics. Gotta make sure we have enough lands to cast our dragons and our spells. For mana ramp, we've got Soul Ring and Arcane Signet as mana rocks. For my favorite package of land ramp, we've got Burgeoning, Exploration, Azusa Lost But Seeking, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Ice-Till Explorer, Conduit of Worlds, Crucible of Worlds, and Ramanup Excavator. Fetch lands plus the ability to play lands from the graveyard plus the ability to play extra lands per turn is absurd. For more traditional land ramp, we've got 3 Visits, Farseek, and Skyshroud Claim. Finally, for rituals, we're running Dark Ritual, Mana Geyser, and Seething Song. Gotta love the ability to create tons of mana and make our opponents cry. Our card advantage package begins with Eureka Moment, Embrace the Paradox, Windfall, and Phyrexian Arena as more traditional card advantage. Mizzix Mastery serves as recursion, and also a win con in the right circumstances. We've also got Manamorphose, Opt, Brainstorm, Consider, Peak, Quicken, and Growth Spiral as cantrips. Don't worry, I'll explain. Finally, for tutors, we're running Bring to Light, Dark Petition, and Solve the Equation. I know that Bracket 2 says we're not supposed to run a ton of tutors, but our cheapest one is 3 mana, so it's fine. For interaction and spot removal, we're running Generous Gift, Insult Injury, Lightning Bolt, Narset's Reversal, Counterspell, Negate, Abrade, Assassin's Trophy, Path to Exile, and Swords to Plowshares. A couple of counterspells, but mostly spot removal, as is appropriate for our bracket. Then again, we are planning something delightfully mean. Our board wipes consist of Blasphemous Act, Earthquake, Magma Quake, Fault Line, Delayed Blast Fireball, Toxic Deluge, and Austere Command. Yes, that's a lot of wipes. Our deck strategy is a little slow, and we want to punish the aggressive players. No, you don't get to have that many bunnies. Good day, sir. The core of our deck consists of Witherbloom the Balancer, Quandrix the Proof, Silverquill the Disputant, Prismari the Inspiration, and Lorehold the Historian, the 5 Elder Dragons from Secrets of Strixhaven. We've also got Young Pyromancer, Murmuring Mystic, Sedgemoor Witch, Docent of Perfection, Prismari Pianist, and Tura Kennerid Sky Knight to make tokens that either help Witherbloom or Silverquill. Finally, to help make our deck blow up, we've got Thousand Year Storm and Swarm Intelligence, both capable of creating insanely powerful terms. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 54 mana sources split between 38 lands and 16 pieces of ramp. A little heavy, to be sure, but dragons are expensive. 16 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 10 pieces of interaction. 7 board wipes. 1 piece of Graveyard Hate in Bojuka Bog. 1 Sudden I Win card in Mizzix Mastery. Okay, I need to be honest. Part of the reason I built this deck was to have Prismari the Inspiration on board alongside Thousand Year Storm, build up a massive double storm count, then cast Assassin's Trophy, and remove everything. Well, everything on our opponent's side. Why? Because that would be hilarious. But Danon, how do we get up a massive storm count? I'm so glad you asked, dear viewer. With either Prismari or Thousand Year Storm on board, we cast Manamorphose. Then, while holding priority, we cast Narset's Reversal. This will create a massive storm count, which will allow us to destroy everything. Oh, you want me to explain? Hold on to your butts. Remember that for this to work, we need one of our Storm Enablers on board, either Prismari the Inspiration or Thousand Year Storm. We cast Manamorphose. Holding priority, we cast Narset's Reversal. We then make a copy of Narset's Reversal because it is the second spell we've cast this turn. The copy of Narset's Reversal targets the original Narset's Reversal, creating a copy and returning the original to our hand. The newly made copy targets Manamorphose, returning Manamorphose to our hand and making a copy of Manamorphose. The copy resolves, we draw a card and add 2 mana to our mana pool. Now, when we cast Manamorphose, it is the third spell that has been cast this turn. We then repeat with Narset's Reversal, drawing a bunch more cards, creating a bunch more mana, and returning both Narset's Reversal and Manamorphose to our hand, allowing us to repeat the combo as many times as we want. Once our storm count is sufficiently high, we cast Assassin's Trophy, destroying every single permanent on the battlefield that we don't control. Maybe now your opponents will learn their lesson about not running basics. Now, I did promise to talk about the cantrips. Cantrips are here in this deck to help us up our storm count. When building the deck, I was debating on taking it in one of 2 directions. The first was a copy fest. We run a bunch of copy spells and win the game with Rowlstorm Conduit or Witherbloom Apprentice. In the end, I decided to go with the cantrips instead, especially since we have a lot of token generators that care about casting spells, but only one that cares about copying them. I hope that makes sense. Which of the 5 Elder Dragons from Strixhaven is your favorite? Leave a comment down below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Dana. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Robert, Pye, Kazaris, Patrick, Boomy, Oscar, Justin, Golden Marcus Leach, Mr. Salty, Daniel Zombie, Luke, Brian, Richard, Jeff, and Nenra. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Dana.